विचार बढ़े, बल पाय चढ़े नित्य ऊपर को। ध्रुव धर्म धरे पर दुख हरे, ध्रुव धर्म धरे पर दुख हरे। तन त्याग तरे भव सागर को, सब वेद पढ़े सुविचार बढ़े, बल पाय चढ़े नित्य ऊपर को। दिन फेर पितावर देश विता, दिन फेर पितावर देश विता। हम आर्य करें जगती भर को, हम आर्य करें जगती भर को। सब वेद पढ़ें सुविचार बढ़ें, बल पाय चढ़े नित्य ऊपर को। So now let's start with the yaj. Ishvara Stuti Prarthana Upasana. Remember, Stuti means praising of the virtuous divine qualities of Ishvara God, so that when we praise good things in life, we tend to catch them in our lives, integrate them in our lives, and we also become virtuous. We become noble in thoughts, in words, and deeds. Then comes Prarthana. Prarthana is prayer, and generally prayers succeed only when we put up our physical and mental efforts to achieve our goals. प्रार्थना पुरुषार्थ के बिना प्रार्थना सफल नहीं होता है. That's the words of Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati. Then Upasana. Upasana is communion, meditation upon Ishvara God. So communion with Ishvara God crosses two stages. First, realization that we are the soul beyond this body. Then material things in this world serves us till the soul is in this body. Once it goes, then nothing goes with us except our karma. So let's do Atheshwara Stuti Prarthana Upasana Mantra. Om Vishwani Deva Savitar Duritani Parasva Yad Bhadram Tanna Asva Tu Sarvesh Sakal Sukhdata शुद्ध स्वरूप विधाता है, उसके कष्ट नष्ट हो जाते शरण तेरी जो आता है. सारे दुर्गुण दुर्व्यसनों से हमको नाथ बचा लीजिए. मंगलमय गुण कर्म पदार्थ प्रेम सिंधु हमको दीजिए. ओम हिरण्यगर्भः समवर्तताग्रे भूतस्य जातः पतिरेकासीत्. सदाधार पृथिवीं द्यामुते मां कस्मै देवाय हविषा विधेम. ओम य आत्मदा बलदा यस्य विश्वा उपासते प्रशिशं यस्य देवा यस्य छायामृतं यस्य मृत्यो तस्मै देवाय हविषा विधेम. ॐ यः प्राणतो निमिषतो महित्वैक जगतो बभूव य ईशे यस्य द्विपादश्चतुष्पादः तस्मै देवाय हविषा विधेम. Let's look at the gist of the mantras, the four mantras. Vishwani Devas Savitara Duritani Parasava Savita, the creator of the universe, praying to Ishvara God, the one and only Ishvara God, that inspires us to drive away all the ills, evils, and sufferings in our life. And in that, with true knowledge, fill in the good thoughts and all the things that are beneficial to us and to our surroundings and to the world at large. The second mantra, Hiranyagarbha, again, Hiranyagarbha, the golden womb, the creator of the universe, who's illuminated the universe, and the first knowledge is by seeing things around us. Recognizing Ishvara God as Patire Ka Asit, Ek Pati, one ruler of this universe. Then Sadadhara Prithvim, sustaining the earth and the whole of this universe. उसकी भक्ति कैसे करें कसमई देवाय हविषा विधेम. What do we understand by bhakti to Ishvara God? Is complying to the rules of Ishvara God given to us in the Vedas and given to us in terms of physical sciences in the universe. Ishvara ka ajya palan karna. Third mantra says Atmada Balada. Now, physical force, we get it from food, and that food comes from the creation, the earth, and the processes that has been programmed by Almighty Ishvara God. Then spiritual force, mental force that comes with true knowledge, enlightenment. And with that true knowledge, we'll be able to embark on righteous living, dharma, righteous earnings, artha, righteous enjoyment, kama, and then move on to moksha, where we'll be yasya chayam mritam yasya mrityu. So we'll be overcoming the cycle of birth and death and be in the eternal bliss of Ishvara God. And the fourth mantra guides us. It says, Ya Ishe Dvipada Chatushpada. So the Dvipad bipeds and the Chatushpad, the quadrupeds, in terms of the world, will understand it by those who have 2 legs and 4 legs. But then, in the spiritual sense, the bipeds are those who only earn a living and enjoy life, and the quadrupeds are those who follow the edicts of dharma, then earn a living righteously, artha, enjoy righteously, kama, and move unto moksha. Om ye nadyo rugra prithivi chadridha yena swasta bhitam yena naka yo antarikshe rajaso vimana kasmai devaya havisha vidhema. Om Prajapate Natvadetanyonyo Vishwajatani Parita Babhuva Yatkamaste Jo Mastanno Astu Vayam श्यामपतयोरयीनाम् ॐ स नो बन्धुर्जनिता सविधाता धामानि वेदभुवनानि विश्वा यत्र देवा अमृतमानशानास्त्रितीये धामन्नद्यैरयन्त ॐ अग्नेन यसुपथाराये अस्मान् विश्वानि देववयुनानि विद्वान् यूयोध्यस्मज्जोरानमेनो भूयिष्ठां तेन मौक्तिं विधेम. The fifth mantra says, Yo antarikshe rajaso vimana. It's a simple analogy describing the status of the soul in moksha. Our concept, when we think about liberty, the first thing that comes to us is birds flying free in the sky. And this is the same analogy there in this mantra. जैसे आकाश में पक्षी उड़ते हैं. So it's the same concept, will be free, will not be bound within the physical body, in whatever life form it is, and will not be bound by the transient pleasures of this world, but rather be in the eternal bliss of Ishwar God. Prajapati Natvadeta, again acknowledging Ishwar God as the one and only ruler in this universe. Why? Vayam Syama Patayorainam, the divinity within us, guiding us to always be on the path of truth, the path of righteousness, and be masters of both material and spiritual treasures. And how is Ishwar God related to us? The next mantra says, Sano Bandhur Janita, as the closest and nearest, dearest sibling to us. In the previous lives, in the life, present life, in the future lives to come, and in moksha. As the safe guardian, the guide, the elder sibling, which remains as our guide, our mentor in life, Ishwar God is like that, by the divine guidance within us. The last mantra says, Agne Naya Supatharayasman Vishwani Deva Vayunani Vedan, seeking the grace of Ishwar God, that apart from the knowledge of the Vedas, the physical sciences of the universe, we be surrounded always by learned and elderly persons to share their experiences and their knowledge so that we get the footing. We don't repeat the errors, the omissions, and the mistakes they did, and just continue 10 steps ahead of the good things they did. So that's the Ishvara Iti Ishvara Stuti Prarthnopasna Prakaranam. Now for Archman, please take water in the right palm. 3 mantras. So it's be 3 times taking water on the right palm. Remember, all actions to be done at the end of the mantra. Om Amritopastarnamasi Sma. Second time. Om Amritapidhanamasi Sma. Third time. Om Satyam Yashah Shrirmai Shri Shayatam Swaha. Wash your hands. Now take water in the left palm, using the middle and ring finger of the right hand. Dip in the water, and at the end of the mantra, we are going to touch various parts of the body, praying to Ishvara God that we be inspired by the qualities of water, keep our body pure, and whatever we do, we'll just stay calm as water is. For whatever turbulence may come in our life, when that settles, we'll be as calm as water. And then we'll also be promoting solid bonds with our friends, with our relatives, just like water, when it has cooked rice or it has merged with flour and cooked, becomes roti. There's no science which can revert it back to the raw rice or to the raw flour. So that transformation, once we achieve that in terms of virtuous qualities in our life, we never go back to where we stood. ॐ वाङ्मास्यस्तु ॐ सोर्मि प्राणोस्तु ॐ अक्ष्णोर्मि चक्षुरस्तु ॐ कर्णयोर्मि श्रोत्रमस्तु ॐ बाहोर्मि बलमस्तु ॐ उर्वोर्मा ओजोस्तु ॐ अरिष्टानि विङ्गानि तनुस्तन्वा मे सन्तु. लाइटिंग ऑफ द लैम्प, अग्नियाधान के लिए दीपक जलाएंगे. ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः. Now take the camphor in the sruva, in the spoon. At the end of the mantra, light it and place it in the center of the Havan Kund. Om Bhurbhuvah Swah Dhyorīva Bhumna Prithiviva Varimna Tasyaste Prithivi Deva Yajani Prishte Agnimanna Manna Dhyaya Dadhe. Agni Samindhan Mantra. During this mantra, you can sprinkle 3-4 spoonfuls of ghee on the fire just to get it blazing. Om Udbudhya Svagne Pratijagrihi Tvamishta Purte Sansrijetha Mayancha Asmin Sadhaste Adyuttarasmin Vishve Devaya Jamanascha Sidata. Samidhadan, 3 pieces of wood stick samidha dipped into ghee. Now the first samidha will be offered with swaha in this mantra. Om Ayanta idmatma jata vedaste nedyasva vardhasva chedda vardhaya Tasman prajaya pashubhir brahma varchase nanadyena samedhaya svaha. Idam agnaye jatavedase idam namama. The second samidha, we have 2 mantras here. The second time we are going to say swaha, that we are going to offer the second samidha. Om Samidhagnim Duvasyata Gritervordayata Tithim Asmin Nabhyajotana Svaidamgneidan Namama. Om Susamidhaya Shocishe Gritam Tivram Jotana Agnaye Jata Vedase Svaha. Idam Agnaye Jata Vedase Idam Namama. Third Samidha. Om Tantva Samidbhirangiro Gritena Vardayamasi Prihachochaya Vishthiya Svaha. Idam Agnengirase Idam Namama. Panchagrit Ahuti, offering of ghee 5 times to the holy fire in the Havan Kund. That's to get it blazing, because after that soon we'll be putting ghee and samagri. That's why the mantra comes 5 times. And coincidentally, in this mantra, we are asking 5 things from God, praying to Praja, kith and kin, children, grandchildren, etc. Be dutiful, be obedient. Pashubhir, pets, bring us joy and peace. Brahmavarshas, the knowledge of the Vedas, the knowledge of this universe, be peaceful to us, brings us progress and prosperity. And we always have nutritious food to maintain this body in good health. And Samedhaya is making effective and efficient use of the four, combining the four of them to move ahead towards peace, progress, and prosperity. ॐ अयन्तैद्मात्मा जातवेदस्तेनेद्य स्ववर्धस्वचेद्वर्धय चास्मान् प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसि नाम्नाद्येन समेधयस्व इदम् अग्नये जातवेदसे इदं नमः ॐ अयन्तैद्मात्मा जातवेदस्तेनेद्य स्ववर्धस्वचेद्वर्धय चास्मान् प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसि नाम्नाद्येन समेधयस्व इदम् अग्नये जातवेदसे इदं नमः ॐ अयन्तैद्मात्मा जातवेदस्तेनेद्य स्ववर्धस्वचेद्वर्धय चास्मान् प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसि नाम्नाद्येन समेधयस्व इदम् अग्नये जातवेदसे इदं नमः ॐ अयन्तैद्मात्मा जातवेदस्तेनेद्य स्ववर्धस्वचेद्वर्धय चास्मान् प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसि नाम्नाद्येन समेधयस्व इदम् अग्नये जातवेदसे इदं नमः Jal Sechanam, sprinkling of water around the Havan Kund. The first would be on the east side, Purva Disham. Om Aditen Manyasva. Now on the west side, Pashchim Disham. Om Anumaten Manyasva. Third would be on the north side, Uttara Disham. Om Saraswatyanmanyasma. Fourth would be all around the Havan Kund, starting at the northeast, going clockwise, and finishing in the northeast at the end of the mantra. Om Devah Savitah Prasuvayadyam Prasuvayadyapatim Bhagaya Divyo Gandharvah Ketapuh Ketannah Punatu Vachaspatir Vachannah Swadatu. Agharavadzi Ahuti. The first Ahuti would be in the north, second in the south, pouring the ghee from northwest to northeast, from southwest to southeast in a streamline form, north. Om Agnaye Svaha. Idam Agnaye Idam Namama. South. Om Somaya Svaha. Idam Somaya Idam Namama. Now in the center. Om Prajapataye Svaha. Idam Prajapataye Idam Namama. Om Indraya Svaha. Idam Indraya Idam Namama. Prata Kalina Ahuti, the Ahuti for the morning. Now both ghee and samagri. Om Suryo Jyotirjyoti Surya Swaha. Both ghee and samagri. Om Suryo Varcho Jyotirvarcha Swaha. Om Jyoti Surya Suryo Jyoti Swaha. Om Sajurdevena Savitra Sajurusha Jushana Suryuvetu Swaha. Sayankalina Ahuti, the mantras for the evening. Om Agnir Jyotir Jyotiragni Swaha. Om Agnirvarcho Jyotirvarcha Swaha. Om Swaha. Om Sajurdevena Savitra Sajuratrindраvatya Jushano Agnirvetu Swaha. Now the ahutis common to both morning and evening. Remember, this mantra reminds us to synchronize our breathing. Bhuragnaye pranaya swaha, bhurvayave apanaya swaha, suradityaya vyanaya swaha, purvaswaragni vayivaditebhya prana apana vyanebhya swaha. So synchronizing our breath, we'll be doing pranayam, pran, apan, deep inhale and exhale. Especially if you know the mantra, that's fine. Say the mantra in one breath. Otherwise, deep inhale and exhale while chanting Om, and the same with the Swaha. The synchronization goes because then the Vyan, the internal vital life energies, pushes the oxygen and the medicinal herbs, the vapors of that which have been inhaled, pushes it into the lungs and throughout our body systems to boost our immunity. So both ghee and samagri. Om Bhuragnaye Pranaya Swaha. Idam Agnaye Pranaya Idam Namama. Om Bhurvayve Panaya Swaha. Idam Vayve Panaya Idam Namama. Om Swaradityaya Vyanaya Swaha. Idam Adityaya Vyanaya Idam Namama. Om Bhurvaswaragnivaivaditevya pranapanavyanebhya swaha. Idam agnivaivaditevya pranapanavyanebhya idam namama. Om Apo Jyotirasomritam Brahmavorbhuvaswarom swaha. Om Yam Medham Devagana Pitarashchopasate Tayama Madhyamedhayagni Medhavinam Kuru Swaha. Om Vishwani Deva Savitara Duritani Parasuva Yad Bhadram Tannasuva Swaha. Om Agnenaya Supatharaye Sman Vishwani Deva Vayunani Vidwan Yuyodhyasmadjohranameno bhuisham tena mauktim vidhema swaha. Om bhurbhuvah swaha tatsaviturvarenyam bhargo devasya dhimahi dhiyo yo na prachodayat swaha. Om Vishwani Deva Savitar Duritani Parasuva Yad Bhadram Tanna Suvasva. Now it will be Agharavajya Ahuti, again Ahuti of only ghee, north, south, and center for the next four mantras, only ghee. Om Agnaye Swaha. Idam Agnaye Idam Namama. Om Bhuvarvayave Swaha. Idam Vayave Idam Namama. Om Suradityaya Swaha. idam adityaya idam namama. Now both ghee and samagri. We're doing special ahutis with 4 mantras from Yajurved, 5 mantras from Yajurved, 32nd chapter. Praying to Ishwar God, the same prayer, the same as in the Gayatri mantra for Medha Buddhi, so that our mind be enlightened with the discriminating faculty to be able to differentiate between truth and untruth, between dharma and adharma, satya or asatya, dharma and adharma, that is, virtue from vice, morality from immoral activities, and then we'll be able to shoulder kartavya and shun akartavya. Shoulder our responsibilities, our duties, and shun negligence and carelessness. Om Paritya Bhutani Paritya Lokan Paritya Sarva Pradesho Deshascha Upasthaya Prathamajamretasyaatmanatmanam abhisanvivesha sva. Om Paridyava Prithvi Sadya Itva Parilokan Paridisha Pariswa Ritasya Tantum Vitatam Vichitriya Tadapashyat Tadabhavat Tadasit Swa. Om Sadasaspati Madbhutam Priyamindrasya Kamyam Sanim Medhamaya Sisham Swa. Om Yam Medham Devagana Pitarashchopasate Yama Madhyamedhayagni Medhavinam Kuru Swaha. Om Medham Me Varuno Dadatu Medham Agni Prajapati Medham Indrascha Vayushcha Medham Dhata Dadatu Me Swaha. Om Idam Me Brahma Cha Chatram Chobhe Shriyamashnutam Mai Deva Dadatu Shriyamuttamam Tasyaite Swaha. Now one mantra from Rigved. I'll be explaining that during the lecture. Om Jataveda Se Sunavam Somarati Yato Nidati Veda Nah Parshadati Durgani Vishwa Naveva Sindhum Duritatyadhi Swa. Gayatri mantra 3 times and 3 times Mahamrityunjay mantra. You'll be chanting along with me in one tone, one voice, and one pace. Just feel at that moment of the chanting of Gayatri mantra the sound waves of your own pronunciation, and feel the sound waves, the vibrations, bringing peace internally, silencing the heart and silencing the mind, and getting into communion with the self and with the Ishvara God. Ghee and samagri at the end of the mantra. Om Bhur Bhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat Swaha. Mahamrityunjay mantra. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukmiva Vandhanan Mrityurmukshiyamamritat Swaha. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam उर्वारुक्मीव बन्धनान् मृत्युर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् स्वाहा। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुक्मीव बन्धनान् मृत्युर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् स्वाहा। Swishtakrit ahuti. If you have prasad, that's fine. One ahuti, otherwise it's only ghee. Om yadasya karmanotyariricam yidvanyunmihakanam agnishta shrishta kridvidyat sarvam swishtam suhutam karotu me agnaye shrishta krite suhutahute sarvaprayashchitahutinam kamanam समर्देत्रे सर्वाणः कामान् समर्धय स्वाहा। इदम् अग्नये श्रेष्ठकृते इदं न मम। One ahuti of ghee. Om स्वाहा idam prajapataye idam न मम. Now both ghee and samagri for purnahuti, three mantras. ॐ सर्वं वै पूर्णं स्वाहा। ॐ सर्वं वै पूर्णं स्वाहा। ॐ सर्वं वै पूर्णं स्वाहा। Put everything down now. Fold the hands. Mahavam Devyagan mantras praying to Ishwar God that he blesses us with sukha, happiness, shanti, peace, and samriddhi, prosperity. Om Bhur Swaha. Om Bhur Swaha. Kayanashchitra bhuvaduti sada vridha sakha कया शचीष्टया वृता ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तस्त्वा सत्यो मदानां मङ्हीष्ठो मत्सदन्धस द्विदाचिदारुजेवसु ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः अभीषो नः सखीनामवीता चरित्रणां शतं भवास्युतये ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः। धनंजय जी, jetzt प्रार्थना प्लीज।
पूजनीय प्रभु हमारे भाव उज्ज्वल दीजिए तोड़ देवे छल कपट को मानसिक बल दीजिए वेद की बोले ऋचाई सत्य को धारण करें हर्ष में हो मग्न सारे शोक सागर से तरे अश्वमेधाधिक रचाए यज्ञ पर उपकार को धर्म मर्यादा चला कर लाभ दे संसार को नित्य श्रद्धा भक्ति से यज्ञादि हम करते रहे रोग पीड़ित विश्व के संताप सब हरते रहे भावना मिट जाए मन से पाप अत्याचार की से नर नारही लाभकारी हो हवन हर जीवधारी के लिए वायु जल सर्वत्र हो शुभ गंध हो धारण किए स्वार्थ भाव मिटे हमारा प्रेम पथ विस्तार हो इदम नमः का सारथक प्रत्येक नित्य व्यवहार हो प्रेम रस में मग्न होकर वंदना हम कर रहे नाथ करुणा रूप करुणा आपकी सब पर रहे पूजनीय प्रभु हमारे भाव उज्ज्वल कीजिए छोड़ देवे छल कपट को मानसिक बल दीजिए प्रभु आत्मिक बल दीजिए सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् सबका भला करो भगवान सब पर दया करो दयावान सब पर कृपा करो हे महान सबका सब विधि हो कल्याण हे ईश सब सुखी हो कोई न हो दुखारी सब हो निरोग भगवन धन धान्य के भंडारी सब भाद्र भाव देखे सन्मार्ग के पथिक हो दुखिया न कोई होवे सृष्टि में प्राणधारी हे नाथ सब सुखी हो कोई न हो दुखारी सब हो निरोग भगवन धन धान्य के भंडारी त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव.
Now let's go for Shirvad, the blessings. Join the palms together and just be like the proper recipient of the grace of Ishwar God and not be like the colander or the strainer put below it up to fill that. So let's make ourselves, transform ourselves into the appropriate recipient for the blessings, for the grace of Ishwar God. Om Satya Santo Yajamanasya Kama Om Purna Santo Yajamanasya Kama Om Sapala Santo Yajamanasya Kama. It says, may the wishes of the Yajman be truthful, the truthful wishes of the Yajman be complete, and the truthful wishes of the Yajman be complete with 100% success. Swasti Mantra. Om Swasti na Indro Vridarshava Swasti na Pusha Vishwaveda Swasti nastaksharyo arishtanemi Swasti no Brihaspatirdadhatu ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवा भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्रा स्थिरैरङ्गैष्टौष्टुवं सस्तनुर्भिर्व्यशेमहि देवहितं यदायु ॐ स्वस्ति 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 ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति. So again, welcome everybody to the weekly services of Hindu Center of Atlanta, running live from Kelly Mill Road in Cumming, Atlanta. I'm leading from Mauritius, and we find Alvil ji, Pandita Jasodhara ji, Kamlesh ji, Yash ji, Anand Shriram ji, and there's one iPhone, I think it's Raghu, who joined us for the services of today, and so many also have joined on YouTube. And it's time for bhajan now. I've requested Alvil ji to give us one bhajan, so let's listen to her first, and then we'll have the bhajan from others. Alvil ji, that's your turn.
Eat every week. You party?
नमस्ते सबको। सत्ता तुम्हारी भगवन जग में समा रही है, तेरी दया सुगंधी हर गुल से आ रही है। रविचंद्र और तारे तूने बनाए सारे, इन सब से ज्योति तेरी एक जगमगा रही है। सत्ता तुम्हारी भगवन जग में समा रही है। इन सब विस्तृत वसुंधरा पर सागर बनाए तूने, जिनके मोतियों से अब चमचमा रही है। सत्ता तुम्हारी भगवन जग में समा रही है। दिन रात प्रातः संध्या मध्याह्न भी बनाया, हर ऋतु पलट पलट कर कर्तव्य दिखा रही है। सत्ता तुम्हारी भगवन जग में समा रही है। सुंदर सुगंधि वाले पुष्पों में रंग है तेरा, यह ध्यान फूल पत्ती तेरा दिला रही है। सत्ता तुम्हारी भगवन जग में समा रही है। हे ब्रह्म विश्व करता दर्शन हो तेरा कैसे, जल थल में तेरी महिमा हे ईश छा रही है। सत्ता तुम्हारी भगवन जग में समा रही है। तेरी दया सुगंधी हर गुल से आ रही है। सत्ता तुम्हारी भगवन। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, Kamlesh ji. We'll listen to Almil ji Murugan now with the bhajan.
Mute.
Your voice, we can't listen to you. Almilji, we can't listen. We are unable to hear you. Because we don't see your mic there. Almilji? Om? Hello? Almil, please.
She must be on mute, Acharya ji.
No, we can't see her mic itself on the...
Yeah, I don't think
we
she
can
has
see
a
the
camera.
I think she has to log out and then come in again.
I don't think she has a camera.
No, she has a camera.
Oh, okay.
But then on the camera, she has no mic, and where she has mic, she has no camera.
Uh-oh.
So it's two apparatuses, two pieces of equipment connected.
Yeah.
So I think she has to sign out and come in again. So by that time, let's listen to bhajan from Yashji.
Yeah. Let me call her.
Yeah, just ask her to sign out and come in again. Yashji, please.
मिलता है सच्चा सुख केवल भगवान तुम्हारे चरणों में, भगवान तुम्हारे चरणों में। ये विनती है पल पल छिन छिन रहे ध्यान तुम्हारे चरणों में, रहे ध्यान तुम्हारे चरणों में। चाहे बैरी कुल संसार बने, चाहे जीवन मुझ पर भार बने, चाहे मौत गले का हार बने, रहे ध्यान तुम्हारे चरणों में, रहे ध्यान तुम्हारे चरणों में। मिलता है सच्चा सुख केवल भगवान तुम्हारे चरणों में, भगवान तुम्हारे चरणों में। चाहे संकट ने मुझे घेरा हो, चाहे चारों ओर अंधेरा हो, पर मन ना डगमग मेरा हो, रहे ध्यान तुम्हारे चरणों में, रहे ध्यान तुम्हारे चरणों में। मिलता है सच्चा सुख केवल भगवान तुम्हारे चरणों में, भगवान तुम्हारे चरणों में। जी चाहे कांटों पर मुझे चलना हो, चाहे अग्नि में भी जलना हो, चाहे छोड़ के देश निकलना हो, रहे ध्यान तुम्हारे चरणों में। मिलता है सच्चा सुख केवल भगवान तुम्हारे चरणों में, भगवान तुम्हारे चरणों में। जी हाँ पर तेरा नाम रहे, तेरी याद सुबह और शाम रहे, बस याद आठों धाम रहे, रहे ध्यान तुम्हारे चरणों में, रहे ध्यान तुम्हारे चरणों में। मिलता है सच्चा सुख केवल भगवान तुम्हारे चरणों में, भगवान तुम्हारे चरणों में। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, Yashji. Now we can see Armelji with her mic. So Armelji, please proceed. No problem, don't worry. So you may start now. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Oh, no problem, don't worry.
Okay. Namaste, everyone, again. पिता सबका है वह ईश्वर, उसी को याद कर प्राणी, हवन सुंदर रचो घर घर, उसी को ज्ञान अभिमानी। पिता सबका है वह ईश्वर, उसी को याद कर प्राणी। जोगी अग्नि में जलता है, जहर को दूर करता है, जहर को दूर करता, सभी रोगों को हरता है, यही है वेद की वाणी। पिता सबका है वह ईश्वर, उसी को याद कर प्राणी। परी कस्तूरी और केसर महक छाई हुई घर घर, महक छाई हुई घर घर। चलो वेदों की यज्ञा पर, नहीं होगी बहुत हानि। पिता सबका है वह ईश्वर, उसी को याद कर प्राणी। विनय करता है स्वामी जी, अगर सुख चाहते मित्रों, अगर सुख चाहते मित्रों, करो मिलकर हवन सुंदर, वही है यज्ञ सुख खानी। पिता सबका है वह ईश्वर, उसी को याद कर प्राणी। हवन सुंदर रचो घर घर, उसी को ज्ञान अभिमानी, उसी को ज्ञान अभिमानी, उसी को ज्ञान अभिमानी। Namaste and thank you.
Thank you, Ji. That was really, in fact, first time I heard this bhajan. So thank you very much. It's new to us. That's also conveying new messages. We have in our midst Dr. Chandora Ji, the founder and mentor of Vedic Temple of Atlanta and the Hindu Center of Atlanta, and the Gupta family joining us also from Cumming. He's from Alpharetta, but these are the pioneers of the Hindu Center of Atlanta in Cumming. तो डॉक्टर जी 5 मिनट के लिए कुछ कहेंगे? Dr. Chandora, short address, please.
Yeah, thank you, Dr.
After so long time, we see him.
तो हमेशा ही आता हूँ जी, हमेशा ही करता हूँ, आज यहाँ पहली
नहीं,
दफा
आज फिजिकली सेंटर में है ना.
फिजिकली आया. थैंक्स. कैसा बोल दिए बस. एक्चुअली आप सब लोगों की कृपा से ये चीज हवन, भजन, कीर्तन, सत्संग संभव हो सका. उसके लिए आप सब लोगों का मैं बहुत आभारी हूँ. हमारे यहाँ पर धनंजय जी, श्रीमती धनंजय जी, उनके सुपुत्र और आपके वहाँ पर सभी साथी लोग से ही ये संभव हो सका है. उसके लिए मैं सबका धन्यवाद करता हूँ.
So thank you, Dr. Chandora ji. In fact, he's with us every Saturday on Zoom, and he has to drive for slightly more than 1 hour to reach there from his home. And so given COVID and combined with the age factor, usually he's there physically once a month. Otherwise, he's regularly on Zoom. So I think he's there after some 6 months. So that's good to have the blessings. जैसे हम कहते हैं ना, वयोवृद्ध और ज्ञान वृद्ध. He's a combination of both. Elderly to us in age to share the experiences, and elderly also in terms of knowledge to share knowledge and life experiences. So let's move on for today's pravachan. सीधे बैठेंगे, कोमलता से आंखें को बंद करके, लंबे सांस लेकर के लंबे सांस छोड़ेंगे. सांस छोड़ते समय ओम का जाप 3 बार करेंगे. Deep inhale and exhale, and while exhaling, we'll do Om Jap 3 times. Then we'll do Gayatri Mantra in 3 rounds. The first time would be 2 times Gayatri Mantra vocal. Then the second 2 times will be Gayatri Mantra, only lips movement. I'll still be guiding you. And the third round would be 2 times Gayatri Mantra, silent chanting, and there you'll be able to feel the sounds of silence, the sounds of the silent chanting, and just pay attention to that, to the vibrations of your pronunciation, and you will sense the chanting of the Gayatri Mantra bringing you inner peace. Om Jap. Gayatri Mantra Jap, first round vocal. Om Bhurabhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Bhurabhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. The next round, only lips movement, Upanshu for you. Om Bhurabhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo devasya dhimahi Dhiyo yo na prachodayat Om Bhurabhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo devasya dhimahi Dhiyo yo na prachodayat. The third round, silent chanting, listening to the sounds of silence and feel the inner peace, the inner silence generated within you. Om Bhurabhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo devasya dhimahi Dhiyo yo na prachodayat Om Bhurabhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo devasya dhimahi Dhiyo yo na prachodayat. Join the palms together, rub them slowly, gently. Cover the eyes and open the eyes gently below the palms and transfer the energy to the facial muscles. Keep a gentle smile to decompress, distress the facial muscles, which is the first point where we accumulate stress. So namaste again to everybody and welcome. I'll be teaching a very critical subject, which is Vidya and Avidya. True knowledge, which is Vidya. Avidya, which also includes knowledge of the world and especially ignorance. And remember, knowledge of the world, often it's half truth and the other half either unknown or the half is untrue. And when the other half is untrue, the whole pyramid crumbles. That's why Vidya refers to true knowledge, and let's take Avidya to be incomplete or false knowledge. We've seen the flow since the past month. In the Vedic philosophy, in the Vedic culture, in the Vedic tradition, we celebrate Shravan Mass and Shravani Upakarma, focusing on the teachings of the Vedas and trying to implement them in our life, tread on the path of Vidya. And Vidya is very critical. True knowledge is critical to be able to enhance the faculty of the mind to know truth and to shun untruth, to know dharma, virtue, and shun adharma, immorality, vice, and then to be assertive in kartavya, our duties and responsibilities, and stay away from negligence, from carelessness, which is akarma. And that is why the Gayatri mantra is called Maha Mantra, because it's prayer for the enlightened mind, the enlightened intellect. And that prayer is recurring in terms of when we say Agne Nayas Patharayasman, the 8th mantra of the Ishvara Stuti Prathnopasana, in Yam Medham Devagana Pitarashchopasate, and in the 5-6 mantras we read, especially because Medha, the word, came again and again. The gross ignorance or false knowledge in this world is about Ishvara, God. Is about this world and in about the soul. Let's take the soul first. The first step of avidya comes from we thinking about the soul and the body being one. The soul has its own entity when it's within the body. It comes within the body, and then that is birth. And it, when separates, detaches itself from the body, that is death. What keeps the body moving, if we just think about that, what keeps the body moving is the soul. It's just as you have your car parked in the yard, and the car cannot move by itself till you don't sit inside, put the start on, and start driving. And for that, you need the clutch, the brakes, and everything. And for the now up-to-date cars, which is assisted driving, even there, you have to program your destination. It won't go anywhere till you don't fix the destination. So this is the first source of ignorance, when we confound ourselves to this body and we care only for the physical needs of this body, ignoring, like if you only put petrol, you get the servicing of your car done, but the driver is not fed, then what happens? The car itself is of no use. So caring for the physical needs of this body, this is the vehicle for the soul to continue its journey on the path of dharma, artha, kama, moksha. So we have to care for this body, but as well as care for the driver within this body, which is the soul. That's why Atmada Balada. And then the second thing is to be aware that this world serves us during this present lifetime till the soul is within the body. Once the soul leaves this body, the close and dear ones will be crying, will be suffering. That's a very painful stage of life, losing a near and dear one. But then after some time, they themselves would press that isko shamshan ghat le jao, bring it now for cremation, for funeral, to return it to the 5 gross elements of this universe: earth, water, fire, air, and space. Because otherwise, that body would start decaying and we can't live in our home. So that is the operation of this world. If we think of the cycle of this world, we have lots to learn even from the world around us. The laws of nature, the physical sciences, and everything. And learn it from there, whatever is in this world, from the small, as we say, dust, to this complex body. Everything has a lifetime. And after that lifetime, it's over. The lifetime of this universe is over. That will be pralay. So the journey of the soul is to move on perfecting itself on the path of karma and maintain the dharmic, the virtuous path in life, Devayana, and reach the ultimate objective, Mukti, Moksha. And Moksha relies solely on our karma. The other concept which was there for the past 15 days, when we are no longer here, people give food and offer water supposedly to bring us to Mukti, Moksha. If that was possible in this present lifetime, people of our previous lives would be offering the same thing, and we should have moved on to Mukti, Moksha, or feel Satyeshta. But we never felt that. So that is one source where we can deduct whether we were using the correct, true knowledge, or we've just been walking on whatever has been done for a long period of time and not seeing whether there's a logic in it, whether there's some bit of truth in it, or whether this is false knowledge. The other concept where we fall into ignorance, avidya, is about Ishvara, God. God is one. Vedas say, Ekam Sad Vipra Bahuda Vadanti. That Ishvara God, main name is Om, and is known by various names, is called by various names by people, by the learned, according to the karma, to the characteristics of that Ishvara God. And we, as human beings, we've become now greater than God. Dividing God into bits and pieces, we've reached 330 million, which is 33 crore. Thing which God himself cannot do, we are trying to do that. This is avidya. And I explained it during Ganesh Chaturthi. Ganesh means the leader of a group. And Ishvara God, as we say, Prajapati, he's the ruler, he's the leader of this universe, of both animate and inanimate. If that ruler, there were many of them, then just imagine someone trying to turn the earth, rotating from west to east, and another would have been thinking independently, trying to turn it the other way around. What would have happened? The whole system of the universe would have crumbled. Our existence would have been in threat. Fortunately, it's not like that. Again, when came Pitri Paksh, we will have a misconception about souls. The soul should be we should be well familiar with what the soul can do. The soul without the body can't do anything. Without the body, it is in the custody of Ishvara God, and it's Ishvara God only who can fix the soul in the next life according and solely on the basis of karma. There's no other yardstick. We say Ishwar Nyayakari hai, the all just. Now think about what we try to do, what humans try to do during prayer. They think this is a barter time or a time to trade with God. Ye main itna 2 kilo laddu ya itna daan dunga to mera kalyan karo. Look, whatever you do, good is punya karma, but that doesn't delete the pap, karma, or the sins or the evils. Now Durga Navami is going. If you want to know the equivalent of Durga, there are 2 words in the Gayatri Mantra for that. Bhuva and Bhargav. Bhuva, liberator from pains and sorrows. And Bharga, क्लेशों से मुक्त कराने वाले ईश्वर God, who removes us from ills and evils. And the mantra which I read is from the Rig Veda. It says, Jata Veda se sunavam so ma marati puto ni dahati veda sanaha parshadati durgani vishwanaveva sindhum durita tyagni. Jata Vedas. Ishwar is called Jata Vedas because he's the source of all knowledge and the source of all material and spiritual treasures. And he's the creator of this universe. Just imagine, beyond the knowledge of the Vedas, how much knowledge is ingrained in this universe. Whatever we think of material treasures, we can get it from this universe. But we have to do our purusharth, our efforts. And it's the same for the spiritual treasures. It says if you can't read the Vedas, then go on the Upanishads, the Darshan Shastra. If that is not accessible to you, look for Satya Acharan, righteous behavior by people around you. And even if you don't have the faculty to recognize that, just listen to your inner voice, to your conscience. That never puts you on the wrong track. Instead, it's a break and regearing everyone to be righteous in life. So simple, the knowledge of the Vedas unfolded by the rishis and taken by Maharishi Dayanand Saraswati. Then it says, Jata Vedas, I've explained that Soma. Soma refers to Somlata, Somras, which is the elixir in terms of Ayurveda. But Soma here means, how do you go to the elixir of life? It's by righteous behavior. Priya gun, vishisht gun. So it's only and only by fine-tuning our thoughts, which eventually would transcend to fine-tuning our words and fine-tuning our physical actions. Then it says, aratiyataha. So let's become dharmatma and shun what is against the concept of righteous behavior. And dharmatma, remember the shlok I've told you previously, manasyanyat vachasyanyat karmanyanyat duratmanam manasyekam vachasyekam karmanyekam mahatmanam. The one whose thoughts go on one path, the words goes on the second path, and the physical actions goes to a contrary third path. This is Duratma. And the one who has harmony between the thoughts, the words, and the physical actions, this is Mahatma. Then, if we adopt that concept of harmonious thoughts, words, and actions, will be Nidahati, Nitya Vahan Karenge, will be treading the path of Dharma day in and day out. And the result of that would be Ved. We'll get the true knowledge, we'll get the true physical, mental, spiritual force, and we'll become, as we prayed for, Vayam Syama Patayorainam, masters of spiritual and material treasures. Then the word comes, Parshadati, पार करके नित्य सुख को प्राप्त करें. So what do we cross? We cross Durgani, दुस्सह दुखों से. We cross pains and sufferings. We cross evils. And the next step would be into peace, happiness, and prosperity. This is what the mantra tells us. And the last word is Durityagni. It says, like Duritani in the first mantra of the Ishwar Stuti Prarthna Upasana. Durgun Durvyasan or Dukhon ko dur kare. And that is our own task. Because it all depends on our karma. Karma says for every action, we have an equal and corresponding reaction. When we do good, we'll reap good. When we do bad, we'll ultimately receive the penalties, the fines for these bad actions. So Durga is only the concept of moving away from ills, evils, and sufferings and treading into the path of righteousness, the path of happiness and prosperity by staying away from evils and sin. And the divine guide here is Ishwar God. Take it to be the omnipresent Ishwar God. We say Tum ho ek agochar, the unborn, the uncreated in the Aarti Bhajan. So as I said, महात्मा कौन है? जिसके मन से, वाणी से और शरीर से कर्म में एक रूपता हो. So we are praying to Moho Eka Gochar, unborn and created and one and only one Ishwar in this universe. Let's our practice flow into the same direction. Otherwise, it's not my words, it's the words of the learned, and in this case, Bhartahari Ji, which Maharishi Dayanand has brought into the Satyar Prakash, into the Vyavahar Bhanu, Manasyanyat, Vachasyanyat, Karmanyanyat, Duratmanam. Let's not be Duratma by differing in our words, in our thoughts, and in our practices. Let's be Mahatma by bringing the harmony. And for bringing the harmony, we need Vidya, true knowledge, and gradually move away of avidya, ignorance, and let's realize the prayer which we often do, Tamasoma Jyotir Gamaya. We pray to Ishwar God that we stay away, move out of the darkness of ignorance, and tread onto the path of the light of knowledge. So जो भी प्रार्थना हम कर रहे उसको साकार करने के लिए उसी में हम पुरुषार्थ करें, शारीरिक और आत्मिक बल को हम लगाएं, and then and only then will become the patra, the appropriate recipient of the grace of Ishwar God, filling which will be like the bucket without the bottom, or will be like the colander or the strainer below the top, trying to fill a colander or a strainer. So my humble appeal would be, let's walk the talk. As we are praying, let's understand at least in the overall what we are praying for. Let's understand the concept of the soul, the concept of this universe, the concept of Ishwar God, and act accordingly. Then and only then we'll be receiving the grace, the blessings of Ishwar God. Hope I could provide you some insight. I'm usual to that, a bit peculiar in the sense that I try to connect to circumstances or to things that are being contemporary subjects, and just wish you well, stay safe, and take care, everybody. Ishwar हम सभी को सुख, शांति, समृद्धि की ओर ले जाने के लिए प्रेरित करें। धन्यवाद। Thank you for your attention. I'll hand over to Dhananjay ji for announcements and then Vandana ji for Aarti Bhajan. Dhananjay ji, any announcements, please? I can't hear you, Dhananjay ji. You're on mute.
Thank you everyone for joining today to the Vedic Satsang, weekly Satsang from Hindu Center of Atlanta. We are fortunate to have Acharya Brahmadilji amongst us and Dr. Dilbandhu Chandora. After a long time we are seeing him physically here. And beautiful bhajans today, Kamlesh ji, Yes ji and Murugan ji. Acharya ji had given a beautiful sermon about Durga and Ganesh. Vandana ji will have the aarti now.
Om Jai Jagdish Hare, Swami Jai Jagdish Hare, भक्त जनों के संकट क्षण में दूर करे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे, जो ध्यावे फल पावे, दुख बिन से मन का, सुख संपत्ति घर आवे, कष्ट मिटे तन का। ओम जय जगदीश हरे, माता पिता तुम मेरे, शरण गहु में किसकी, तुम बिन और न दूजा, आस करूं मैं जिसकी। ओम जय जगदीश हरे, तुम पूर्ण परमात्मा, तुम अंतर्यामी, पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वर, तुम सबके स्वामी। ओम जय जगदीश हरे, तुम करुणा के सागर, तुम पालन करता, मैं सेवक तुम स्वामी, कृपा करो भरता। ओम जय जगदीश हरे, तुम हो एक अगोचर, सबके प्राणपति, इस विधि विनु दया में दो मुझको सुमति। ओम जय जगदीश हरे, दीन बंधु दुख हरता, तुम रक्षक मेरे, करुणा हस्त बढ़ाओ, शरण परा मैं तेरे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे, विषय विकार मिटाओ, पाप हरो देवा, श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ाओ, संतन की सेवा। ओम जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे, भक्त जनों के संकट क्षण में दूर करे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे।
Move now for Shanti Path. Doing it in the yogic, the meditative form, connecting each and every word to respective Shanti. Om Dyo Shanti Antariksham Shanti Prithvi Shanti Apah Shanti ओषधयः शान्ति वनस्पतयः शान्ति विश्वे देव शान्ति ब्रह्म शान्ति सर्वं शान्ति शान्तिरेव शान्ति साम शान्तिरेधि ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। जय घोष। जो बोले सो अभय। वैदिक धर्म की जय। जगत गुरु महर्षि दयानंद महाराज की जय। गुरुवर स्वामी विरजानंद जी की जय। योगेश्वर श्री कृष्ण महाराज जी की जय। मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम श्री रामचंद्र जी की जय। वेद की ज्योति जलती रहे जलती रहे। वेद की ज्योति जलती रहे जलती रहे। आर्य समाज अमर रहे आर्य समाज अमर रहे। वैदिक ध्वनि ओम। Again, rub the palms slowly, gently, and cover the eyes to open the eyes below the palms so that external light doesn't hit our eyes. सभी को सादर नमस्ते. Thank you for being here with us, and we'll see you next week for the weekly services, same time, Saturday, 10:30 a.m. We have the classes on Yoga Darshan, the Yoga philosophy, and this is the practical applications of Yoga in day-to-day life. And that's Sunday at 9 p.m., 9 to 9:45 p.m. And the kids' classes on Sanatan Dharma is Saturday, Friday, 9 to 9:30 p.m. Thank you. If anyone has any feedback or anything to add, we'll leave the floor open for a few minutes, and then we'll wind this session of today. Thank you.
Thank you, Acharya ji.
Thank you.
Next.